Welcome into our next installment of the Big Z Sports 2-A-Day segment. Today we're out at New Philadelphia High School. Joe Geckler, Chris Kale joining you. Big thanks to Gillen Body Shop. Quality work done right the first time. Chris, another 2-A-Day segment. We're wrapping these up. We got a couple more to do, and the season will be here before we know it. Today, the New Philadelphia Quakers welcome us in.
Yeah, and what better to have the two old vets covering the New Philadelphia Quakers, right? And the Quakers come in 6-5 season last year. Kind of, I don't want to say a surprise because we knew what this team was capable of, but I think we all kind of predicted that maybe they would be on the outside looking in when it came to the playoffs last year. They got in. I think they build off of that and have a stronger year this season.
Yeah, Mike Johnson's doing a fantastic job taking over for Matt Dennison, who was off to Canton South a couple of years ago. But Mike Johnson, 6-5 in his first season. Again, like you said, into the playoffs. They got knocked off by Hubbard in the first round, 39-20, but something definitely to build on.
Absolutely, and I think it's something that, when you bring back your quarterback, you bring back some of the skill positions that they're going to have this year, I think it's going to allow them to continue to build on this program, and we'll see what Coach Johnson has to say about his team here in a minute.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he talks about the schedule. If you look at their schedule, Chris, they have a lot of did-not plays on their schedule because they go to a new conference. The OCC welcomes in the Quakers in 2022, but they have CVCA on the schedule, who they didn't play last year, and then of course they welcome back two opponents that they do play. The two opponents that you put on that schedule every year that's going to get you ready for the playoffs in Week 2 in Steubenville and week number 10 in the Dover Tornadoes.
Yeah, the schedule's very interesting for the Quakers this year. Love that they're going back in time, back to the OCC where they were for so many years. It's going to be a great battle with West Holmes and Mansfield Senior, Ashland, some other perennial powerhouses, Worcester, and some of those schools in the OCC. So Coach Johnson, we'll see what he has to say.
Welcome back to the Big Z Sports 2-A-Days, brought to you by Gillen Body Shop. Quality work done right the first time. Joe Geckler, and it is time to be welcomed by and joined by Quaker head coach Mike Johnson. Coach, thanks so much for taking time out of your practice this morning. You're about a week into practice. How are things going here so far for the Quakers in 2022?
Joe, thanks. Right now things are going well. We're at the end of the week of 2-A-Days. Kids are tired. We're beat up a little bit, which is normal for them. Now it's time today. We're trying to get our legs back and get ready for a scrimmage tomorrow. So we're heading up to Northwest in the morning, and can't wait to get out there and go against somebody else.
Coach, you're in your second season. You start year number 2 as the head coach. Was it year number 13 or so as an assistant, something like that? You were 6-5 last year, got to the playoffs. A lot of new things happening for the Quakers. Let's talk about last year real quick. Again, like I said, 6-5. You were a 12 seed in Division III, Region 9. You lost to number 5 Hubbard, 39-20 in the first round. Talk to us about your season and how you feel about it.
I mean, it was a good first season. We got a lot of valuable experience. Last year we had 9 seniors who all contributed and played a role for us offensively and defensively, but that's not a lot of guys. So this year we got 19 seniors, and a lot of them got experience last year. So we're looking at a lot of returning lettermen, and we're gonna build on the experience they had and just get better.
Coach, let's go ahead and look at the schedule this year. A lot of did-not plays last year because you joined a new conference, which is really cool for the New Philadelphia Quakers. They have only 2 opponents back off of last year's schedule with his Steubenville Week 2, and of course I'll call them that team across the river that you guys do here in week number 10. But a lot of new opponents on your schedule. You start off week 1 with CVCA, then you go to Worcester and Ashland, which are conference opponents now.
Yeah, of course the two you get back are 2 really great programs who are going to give us a great test. So with all the new teams, it is exciting. We're looking forward to meeting these teams, getting into those relationships where you're playing them in and out every single year. So West Holmes has been on the schedule in the past, and they're not all that unfamiliar, even though they're coming back with off a great season. So we're excited about the new teams. We're excited about the new league, and really excited to get things kicked off at home with CVCA in about 2 weeks.
Absolutely. And if you look at your schedule and you look at, there's a little more traveling to this conference. The OCC, you get the likes of Worcester and Ashland and Mansfield and Mount Vernon and West Holmes and Lexington. It's a lot more travel. How are you going to prepare your team for those long bus rides?
Well, we've been out to Ashland University for a 7-on-7. We drive to Marietta. We've been on road trips, so we're not all that concerned about it. You just go to school, you get here a little earlier, and then we're off and running.
Well, Coach, let's look at the returning players. Look at your offense a little bit. Who's going to be the trigger man this year for the Quakers, and how's the offense shaping up?
Offense is shaping up well. We got Curtis Tetzloff is going to be the quarterback. He started last year for us and had a nice year. Did a great job of doing what we asked him to do, which was manage games. We handed the ball off a lot last year. We're a run-first team, and now we got a little more confidence, and we're excited to open up the playbook a little bit more and do a few more things with him.
Coach, defensively, you guys gave up about 20 points a game last year, 155 yards on the ground, 138 yards through the air, but you did have 22 forced turnovers. Something your defense is really good at doing is being ball hawks and forcing those turnovers.
Well, we're really pushing that even more so this year. We've been as we we're trying to be a little more aggressive with it. We're trying to get after offenses a little bit more, and we're really excited to see tomorrow kind of what we're able to do with personnel. We got a couple other guys who might be able to fit into that lineup, and we want to see what they can all do, and we want to get after teams off their offense and make them adjust to us.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, again, thanks so much for joining us here for our Big Z Sports Two-A-Days. We really appreciate you allowing access to the program, to you, to your players, and letting us kind of preview the Quakers for 2022.
Well, thanks, Joe. Thanks, WTUZ, and we're glad to have you anytime, and it's great for our kids, too, so thank you.
That's Coach Mike Johnson here on our Big Z Sports Two-A-Days. Thanks to Gillen Body Shop with quality work done right the first time. Joe Geckler back with Chris Kale here in just a moment. Joe Geckler back with the Big Z Sports crew here on our Two-A-Days. I welcome back in Chris Kale. And Chris, you heard Coach Johnson there in that interview talking about the schedule, how excited he is about being in the OCC. Your thoughts on what he feels about the OCC?
Yeah, I think that he's not concerned about bus rides, obviously. Sure. And I agree with him. Being a part of the ECOL for so many years, yeah, you had to go to Cambridge, you had to go to Zanesville, you had to take that long hour and 45-minute bus ride down to Marietta. So they've been on those long trips. It's not going to bother them to be in the OCC and have to travel more northwest than anything. But, yeah, I think they're prepared. I think they're ready. He talked a lot about, having Tetz back at quarterback and how much that's going to be a comfort zone for this offense. You look at some of the skill players and Willie Wallace coming back, Beans at the running back, or Bean at the running back position, rather. And I think that it's absolutely going to be a comfort zone for them. And it sounds like they want to build on this defense, and he's really excited about them.
How much comfort does he have knowing he has 19 seniors this year, a big class for him? I'm sure he's excited about having that experience back here on the sidelines this year at Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, it always helps to have the number of seniors back. I think he said, 17 juniors as well. So heavy leadership laden team, and you always want that coming in when you're a first, second, third, fourth year coach in trying to build this program. Those juniors and seniors are what leads this team.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, great seeing you, man. Good couple weeks here. We're back at it. Got a fun football season lined up for you. Lots of fun games to do as well. Of course, all the shenanigans in the studio with me and him and Nick and Adam and whoever else joins us in the studio this year. But we're back at it. High school football back upon us. Seems like we just called that state championship in Massillon or Akron for the softball, and all of a sudden it's football season. So quick summer, but you know what? Big Z Sports happy to be back for some high school football here in just a couple of weeks. But we're going to wrap up our Two-A-Day segment today here at New Philadelphia. Big thanks to them for allowing us to come out and talk with coaches and players and get some video for you to get you in the mood for some high school football. Of course, Gillen Body Shop, quality work done right the first time. We appreciate their sponsorships as well. For Coach Mike Johnson, I'm Joe Geckler, and he is Chris Kale. We'll see you next time around on our next stop on our Two-A-Day segment here with Big Z Sports.